What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Fish Knuckles' YouTube channel. Today we're doing the round 2 of the PTCGO tournament. This time we're playing against Alex. Round 1 we played against the Aromatisse Mega Mewtwo deck, and we're still playing our Night March Vespiquen deck. And we see that he's playing a Fighting Color, so I'm not sure what this could be. Fighting in colors. The only thing I can really think of is Lucario Shaman, maybe? And yeah, we'll decide to go first like always. You always want to go first with your decks. I don't care what anybody says. Even with Night March, you want to go first. Alright, so we get a Combi. So my opponent has no basic Pokemon. We're going to start with good old Pumpkaboo. And we'll press done. And let's see, what is our opponent playing? Okay, so there's... Oh, this is a Garchomp deck. Okay, Garchomp. They probably play Focus Ashes, but we do have the... Megaphone, so we get rid of that. No, we have Xerosic. Sorry, Xerosic's in this deck now. We get 2 mulligans, which is great. But my opponent will at least need a turn to evolve, which is good for us, because it's going to kind of make him sort of slow, so that's good for us. So let's see, what do they get? He needs to get down multiple Pokemon as well. We haven't shown off this Garchomp deck, but I can kind of explain what it is as we go. And I know I'd explain how the tournament works. So what happens is you play until you lose 2 rounds. If you lose 1 round, you go into the loser bracket, and then if you lose that one, you're out of the tournament. So, okay, so we draw into those 2 guys. So press done, and there is a good old Gible. Alright, so we're going to Ultra Ball. We're going to discard the Sycamore and Vespiquen. With this, we'll get out a Pumpkaboo. Come on now, Mr. Pumpkaboo. And I might just pass on this turn. I really... probably don't want to do anything else. I'll put down the Combi, put down the Pumpkaboo, and we might just pass. I mean, I don't think... He's not playing Seismitoad, so he can't item lock us. He's playing, you know, he's playing a good old, Garchomp. There we go. I couldn't think of the name. So, Garchomp. There's an energy to the active, and let's see what kind of turn he has. He needs to put down to the Pokemon. There's a Fighting Stadium. He could, never enough, discard a card from your hand if you do draw 2. There's a Sycamore, discard a hand, draw 7 new cards. He needs another Pokemon, or he lays himself in a position where he could get dunked, and that would not be good. So there's Repeat Ball. He get another Gible out. So there we go. So he's going to have 2 Gibles out. Okay, so Gible coming on down. Now we need to at least put 3 Night Marches in the discard pile. There's none of the discard pile, but we have 2 Shamans. We have Vespiquen for Sycamore. We have a lot of outs. We see a Focus Sash going on to the Gible, which is not good. Now we can't knock out that Gible, which is kind of bad. But we do play Xerosic to get rid of the Focus Sash. So we'll have to see if we can draw into it. Maybe draw into a Battle Compressor. A lot of different outs that we can have next turn. There, see a Trainer's Smell. Go look at the top 4 cards of his deck. And let's see. So he's going to fail that. And so it might be just Garchomp Shaman. That's probably what he's playing. I don't think he's playing like the Octillery. I don't think he's playing... He might play Landorus, maybe. Or not Landorus, Lucario, sorry. So he discards the Judge. Going to draw 2 cards off that. And onto our turn. What do we top deck? Pumpkaboo. Okay. So we'll put down Vespiquen. Put a DC on the active. We will Shaman for 3. Yep. And let's see, what do we get off the Shaman? Hopefully a Battle Compressor. Alright, so we get a Battle Compressor. And with this Compressor, we could discard... Is Xerosic in the deck? That's the big question. Okay, so we'll discard Xerosic, we'll discard Lampent, and we'll discard a Lampent. So we have 2 Night March in the discard pile, but we need 1 more. We're going to... Let's see, we can put down Shaman, draw 2, or we can put down Pumpkaboo and draw 3. So let's put down the Pumpkaboo and we'll Shaman, draw in 3. Yep, come on, Shaman, give us something good. We need a Battle Compressor and a Dimension Valley. Oh no, we missed the Dimension Valley. Alright, so we can, yeah, we missed the Dimension Valley. That kind of stinks, because now we can't Night March this turn to knock it out. That's not good. So we'll Compressor. And with the Compressor, we're going to discard the Lampent. We'll discard another Lampent if it's in here. Alright, so we have 1 Lampent prized, I think. We'll discard Joltik, and we will discard a Joltik. Alright, so not... Oh, man, we missed... Oh, we missed the Dimension Valley. So, we could AZ pick up a Shaman. And then put it back down to draw some cards. That way we can see the Vespiquen for the Xerosic, which I think it might be the smart play. So we'll AZ, pick up the Shaman. Put it back down, draw in 2, and let's see, can we get the Dimension Valley or not? There's 4 in the deck, I think. And okay, so there's the Dimension Valley, that's good. We do have her whiff the, knocking out this Gibble because that Focus Sash will do, what, 100 damage, okay? Focus Sash gets popped off and onto our opponent's turn, but at least we have the VS Seeker for the following turn if he somehow Focus Sashes the active, which he really can't. Try to remember how much the Garchomp does. Is it 40? Oh, we have one in the discard pile. So 60, and if he has a strong energy, okay, that's being knockouts, because we have 60 HP, but we have 20 resistance for fighting. So we see a Karina, okay. But what we can do next turn is we can DC a Vespiquen and attack with it the following turn. But he's going to be able to accelerate energies to this bench guy. So if you don't know, Garchomp has Turbo Assault. It does 60. You attach an energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. Not sure what the other card was. Hopefully it's not a Muscle Band. If it's a Muscle Band, then he can knock us out this turn. Or he'll need a strong energy. Or he could use... What's Garchomp's second attack? Bite Off for 80. Yeah, that would knock us out. So I'll have to see what he decides to do. Does he get anything? He doesn't have any energies in the discard pile either, so that's good for us. That's good to know. Let's see what he decides to do. So there's a Max Potion. Going to heal that Gibble all full HP. And going to discard that Fighting Energy. Okay, but we have ZS Seeker. Oh, if we play Xerosic next turn, we actually don't knock him out. So there's Red Candy, the Garchomp. Did he have a Focus Sash? Okay, so Strong Energy. Ooh, okay, it makes things spicy for sure. Ultra Ball, going to discard those two. Probably grabbing a Shaman. Imagine we'll see a Shaman coming on down. He needs a Focus Sash, so if he doesn't get a Focus Sash, we can just attack with Vespiquen because he is weak to Grass, which is great for us. There's a Shaman, going to put it down, draw 6 cards. We can maybe use that to take our last 2 prize cards. So Shaman drawn up to 6. Set up, and what do they get? He knocks out regardless. Turbo Assault to 60 plus 20, 80. There's a Focus Sash going onto the active, so we'll have to VS Seeker for a Focus Sash. There we see a Gabite coming down. And we will see our opponent take the first prize card. But like I said, we can knock out a Vespiquen next turn. We got a VS Seeker for a Xerosic. There we see a knockout. Too bad he has a strong energy. If we didn't have that strong energy, I'm not sure what we would do because we have to VS Seeker for Xerosic. And that would be our supported card for the turn. So let's hit up Vespiquen and let's see what happens onto our turn. We had the VS Seeker for Xerosic, like I said a billion times already. So let's play that. Let's get the Xerosic. Ooh, we almost grabbed a Sycamore. I almost messed up. So we'll Xerosic, discard that Focus Sash. Put a Muscle Band on a Pumpkaboo. Might be helpful for later. DC the active. And let's be revenge. Let me make sure it's knockout. Hold on a second. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 90 times 2, 180. So yeah, that's knocking out. So be revenge for the knockouts. Alright, so 180 damage. We'll go into 5 prize cards. We'll be tied up on the prize cards. Alright, what do we get? We get a Lysander, which might be helpful. We could maybe knock out the Shaman next turn. Well, let's see what does my opponent decide to do. Going to send that Gabite. Alright, now my opponent can't knock us out Garchomp just yet. Bite Off does 80, so he'll need a strong energy. There's a Hawlucha coming down. Not really worried about that. He could maybe use to take the last 2 prize cards off his Shaman, which would be kind of scary. But does he have another strong energy? So there's a strong energy. Does he have another Garchomp? But he does have 2 in the discard pile. And let's see, does he have the other Garchomp? There's a Karina. And if he does have the Garchomp, it's going to come down right now. The big question is, does he have another Focus Sash? So Garchomp comes into the hand. And what is the other card? Is it another Focus Sash? He's already played 2. How many does he play is the question. I imagine 3 or 4. I imagine he play high counts of that card for sure. But I could be wrong. Maybe he doesn't play high counts. How many Night March in the discard pile? So there's a Muscle Band. Okay, so no more Focus Sashes that I know of. He could play more, but maybe not. So there's a Garchomp coming on down. Okay, does he get into the Gibble down? If he doesn't get into the Gibble down, he's going to be kind of trouble. Muscle Band, Bite Off does 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and knocks us out regardless. And we got to hope Pumpkaboo can take a knockout this turn. We need a DCE, and we need some more Night Marches in the discard pile. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 120, 140. Oh, we took a knockout already. So all we need is the DCE. And so he's going to attach energy to Hawlucha. Like I said, Flying Press could take a knockout on the Shaman. But he'll need to take some more knockouts. So on our turn, let's see what happens. We get a Compressor. We're going to discard more stuff out of our deck we don't need. We'll discard a Teammates. We could use VS Seeker to grab it. We'll discard a Joltik and a Joltik. That seems good. So we'll discard those 3. We will Shaman, setting up for 3. Yes, and let's see, can we get a VS Seeker or a... Okay, that's not what we needed. That's not good. So put a Flowstone on a Shaman. And we will Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards, and let's see, can we get a DCE or not? There we go, and we get 2 time puzzles for the following turn, that's great. So put down the Pacombi, put a DC on the active, and we will... let's Battle Compressor first. We almost forgot to thin our deck out some more. We'll discard, let's see... X-Maniac seems pretty useless. Do we discard Ultra Balls or keep them? We could Ultra Ball for unknown, so that might be kind of helpful. Let's just discard the Pumpkaboo, and that'll probably be our only... Yeah, we'll just discard those, and we will Night March, taking a knockout on the Garchomp. Going down to 4 price cards, doing 200 damage. Alright, so going down to 4. And the big question is, does he have a way to take a knockout with this Hawlucha the following turn? Not 100% sure, but here comes a Hawlucha. Owns our opponent's turn. Let's see what happens. Alright, so let's see. Does he have any more Gibble? So there's a Gibble coming down. There's a Hawlucha. Okay. We could VS Seeker for Gibble to take a knockout on it, and to take another knockout on a non-EX attacker, and then knock out Shaman for the last 2 prize cards, which I think that's what we're going to do. I'm just scared if he does play Judge. So he does play the Judge. He's played 1 VS Seeker. Alright. Okay. So let's see. If he has a VS Seeker in his hand, what does he do is my question. He doesn't have a licensed discard pile. There's a Sacred Ash. Gonna shuffle 5 Pokemon from his discard pile into his deck. Gonna shuffle some Garchomp, some Gabites, some Gibbles. Okay. Alright. There's a Sycamore. Going to discard the hand, draw 7 new cards. Discards a rare candy. Alright. How many rare candies are in the discard pile? There's another Gibble coming down. There's 2 rare candies. So he might have 1, maybe 2 left in the deck. I'm not 100% sure. And what will our opponent do? I imagine he'll retreat this Hawlucha because you don't want the energy on the active spot. I think that might be the best play for sure. So there's another Gibble coming down. So you see 3 Gibbles coming down. Alright. Does he have an energy attachment for the turn? I don't think he's attached one yet. If he does attach one, hey, he's going to retreat the Hawlucha. So no energy attachment. Okay, good. That's good for us. So in our turn, we will... let's Ultra Ball, discard these 2 guys, and I think... Is there a Vespiquen left in our deck? I didn't even check to see if there's Vespiquen. Wow, there's not a Vespiquen left in our deck, so we'll grab an Unknown. We will VS Seeker for a, Lysander? Oh, we should have just kept the VS Seeker, so we could have used it later on. That was a mistake on my part, but we're gonna Lysander. Let's bring up... Yeah, let's bring up the Shaman. Let's just take two prizes while we can. We'll go down to 2. Okay. And let's see what our opponent do. We'll take a knockout on the Shaman. Take a 2 prize cards. There is a Dimage Valley and a VS Seeker, so that's good. We can VS Seeker for any 2 cards next turn if he knocks us out with teammates. And we have Time Puzzle to get back DCE, so we have a really, really good hand. We'll have to see what happens. We've only played 1 Time Puzzle, so we could, we have a lot of options we could do. Yeah, we have only played 1 Time Puzzle. Okay, that's good. So let's see what IKEA does. Or I think it's Alex. So energy goes into Gibble. Alright. And what I might just do, if he just leaves whatever, like if he doesn't retreat, I might just attack the active for the knockout. And then we can use Time Puzzles and VS Seeker. And we should be able to win this game. So there's just a Rosic, discarding that DCE, but we have Time Puzzles to get him back. So we should be good to go. Oh, he puts down a Shaman. Alright, so that pretty much just wins us a game. We can Time Puzzle, unless he already Rosic, so he can't judge us. So we have a Time Puzzle, we can get a DC Lysander, since of the Gibble, not really worried. We're going to win the game. Alright, so we should be good to go. Even if he gets a Garchomp down, we should be able to win. So Gibble, going to use, what's that tag called again? Never Enough. Discard a card from your hand. If you do, draw 2. But we have Time Puzzle, we can get back a DCE and a Lysander to win the game. So a Time Puzzle, discard a Time Puzzle. Yep, let's play 2 copies. And let's get back the DCE and the Lysander. Alright, there we go. We can just Lysander up the Shaman, take our last 2 prize cards, and win the game. There we go. So we'll Lysander up Shaman. Sorry, Shaman, I know you're my favorite Pokemon. I still love you, but it's okay. We're just going to take a knockout. Night March, going to knock out that Shaman. Going down, and we're going to win the game. So round 1 goes to us. It is best 2 out of 3. Hey, another Time Puzzle coming into our hand as well. Alright, let's see what happens in the next game. It is best 2 out of 3. And I imagine he'll go first. Just waiting for him to send me a message saying he's going to go first. I imagine like I said, he'll probably go first. I don't ever see why you would want to go second. The big question is, does he get down 2 Pokemon? If he doesn't get down 2 Pokemon, can we donk him or not? So, once again, Night March Vespiquen, probably one of the strongest decks in standard format right now. I'm like 99% sure it's one of the strongest decks. I'm definitely highly considering it for states. So, we'll grab Night March, and I imagine, like I said, he'll go first. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully he just wins the coin flip and he can just start automatically. He hasn't messaged me if he wants to go first or not. We'll call heads like always. Okay, so he lost the coin flip. He gets to choose if he wants to go first or second. Like I said, he gets to choose regardless. Alright, so under our opponent's turn. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we start. Our start is not that great. Not gonna lie to you. It's not that good. If we top deck an Ultra... Okay, he puts down 2 Pokemon as well. Okay, so let's see what happens. There's a Hawlucha and a Gible. Okay, but like I said, our hand is terrible. It is really bad. We could end up just losing on the second turn. Fighting Energy go down to Gible. Hopefully we can top deck an Ultra Ball, maybe a Shaman, a Sycamore, Hex Maniac. Okay, alright, fancy. I like it. And on to our turn. Let's see what happens. There's an unknown, so we'll have to put down the unknown. Let's use Puzzle Time to rearrange top 3 cards of our deck. Okay, so we know our top 3 cards are going to be bad. So now we can use Battle Compressor and shuffle them up, because that's terrible. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what we do. We're just going to use Battle Compressor. Yeah, Battle Compressor. Let's rearrange. Let's discard some cards from our deck. We'll discard a Lampent. We'll discard another Lampent. And let's discard a Sycamore. That should be okay. How many time puzzles are in here? There's 1, 2. Is there a third one? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the other 3, all 3 time puzzles are in the deck. So we'll discard those 3. And we will just pass. Which is, like, that's not what you want to do, but... Alright, we'll see what happens. He did use a Hex Maniac, but regardless, we could use Unknown. But I don't think we would use Unknown regardless, because if we whiffed the top deck, we would have just lost. Like, there's nothing we could have done. So here's a Karina. I imagine he'll get a Rare Candy Garchomp, and it's going to come down to the top deck. What do we get? Oh, okay, there's a Gible. Does he already have the Garchomp in his hand? We know he plays Rare Candy. We saw in the last game. He must already have the Garchomp in his hand if he's not getting the Garchomp with the Karina. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, though. So, Focus Sash. Okay. Alright. Let's see what happens. Okay, so there's a Gible. Does he already have Rare Candy Garchomp in his hand? So, oh my goodness, he had Rare Candy Garchomp already in his hand. That's a great turn 1-5 opponent. I can't even be mad. Like, that's great. So, Focus Sash going into the Garchomp. We'll see Retreat. And he'll use Turbo Assault to knock us out. Yep, that's going to happen, and it's going to come down to what do we top deck? Turbo Assault doing 60, knocking us out, and yeah, what do we get off this top deck? My opponent going down to 5. Alright, hopefully we get Ultra Ball and Hex Maniac. It's not what we want to see. So we end our turn, we lose game number 2. Wow, that's some bad draws there. That's not good. But we'll go to game number 3. Just didn't have anything. Didn't have anything. So we'll see a Turbo Assault knocking us out, and we'll be on to game number 3. That was an uneventful game number 2. Alright, so see a knockout defeat screen coming on up. And yep, that just happened. Alright, so in game number 3, let's see what happens. That was probably the worst thing I can ever see happening for us. Like, I've never seen that bad of a hand, but hey, it does happen. But we'll see what happens. I mean, unless, like, Time Puzzle revealed, like, a Sycamore, and then we could have unknown if he didn't Hex Maniac. Oh, he messed me first or second? First, always. Let's see. So, we'll go first. Alright, so let's see what happens. Alright, so game number 3, let's see what happens. Hopefully we get a good start. Not that really bad start. Oh man, that was so bad. But at least we get 2 turns. Oh, we won the coin flip regardless. Alright, so there we go. Yes, we'll have to go first. And on to our turn. Let's see what kind of start do we get. Alright, so we get double Combi, Vespiquen, and Joltik. So put down a Combi. Put down a Combi, and we'll see what happens. At least we got a Sycamore this turn. So at least we have a supporter card. They're selecting the starting Pokemon. We'll put down a Combi. Press done. Alright, and let's see. There's a Gible and double Vespiquen in her hand, which is not good. What I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to pass. I'm going to put a Mustband on the active. And let's just pass. Yep, that'll be fine. Because next turn we can double Vespiquen, we get Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 70 cards, and we can just knock him out if he doesn't get another Pokemon. But I mean, he plays like probably 4 Karinas, so he probably has plenty of options to get back those Pokemon as well. If we top deck an Ultra Ball, then it would be really good. So there's an Ultra Ball, discarding a Garchomp in a Fighting Stadium, or Gabite in a Fighting Stadium. Okay, maybe he thinks our hand is really bad. Maybe, hopefully. Shaman, going to Shaman, draw 2, so he has another Pokemon to put down. Does he have any more stuff? So Focus Sash, going to the active, Strong Energy, Shaman. Okay, so my opponent's having a good turn 1 for sure, but at least we can use it to knock out these Shamans, or we can knock out a Shaman at least. So Shaman going to drop to 6. Alrighty, there's our Peepball, going to get another Gabite down. Another, yeah, Gabite, Gibble, Gabite. Oh, I can't see it. Oh yeah, okay, Gibble. Gibble, Gabite, Garchomp. There we go. I gotta remember that order. So Gibble coming on down. And let's see if we top deck an Ultra Ball. If we top deck an Ultra Ball, we could... Oh, a Shaman! I mean, a Hex Maniac to get rid of our Shamans. Alright, so never enough. Gonna discard a card, draw 2. The question is, does he have a Rare Candy Garchomp in his hand? Alright, so into our turn, we'll put down Vespiquen, and we will Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards. Now, we don't play Megaphone, we only play Xerosic, so we can't pop that Focus Sash this turn. Alright, so we get a Pumpkaboo. We can retreat into the Vespiquen. We'll use Battle Compressor. With the Compressor, we're going to see if Xerosic's in the deck. Alright, Xerosic in the deck. Okay, so there's a Xerosic. And then we'll discard Lampets. Yeah, we'll discard Lampets. Okay, is there no more Lampets in the deck? Okay, there's one. And, okay. I guess we'll discard a Joltik? Yeah, this seems fine. No, not Combi, Joltik. Alright, so discard those 2. And, we'll pass. He did Hex Maniac us, so he can't attack this turn. Let's see, so I need Night Marchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we can Night March 400, which is not a knockout, but it might be okay. Alright, so we didn't get anything that turn, really. So there's a Gabite coming down. Does he have a Rare Candy Garchomp or a Karina in his hand? That's the big question. There's a VS Seeker. He can grab a Karina. Oh, a Hex Maniac. Alright, so Hex Maniac coming on down. That's not good for my opponents. If we could top deck a DCE, we could VS Seeker for a Xerosic, get rid of that Focus Sash, and maybe take a knockout this turn. Let's see what happens. So never enough. Okay. Amo, DC top deck. Alright, so discard a Fighting, draw 2. Alright, and let's see what happens. Onto our turn. Come on, DCE! Oh, a Shaman! No, I know, Shaman. Shaybay! Alright. Welp, huh. I think we still just want to pass. Yeah, we're just going to pass. Which might seem kind of weird, but next turn we can VS Seeker for a Xerosic, pop that Focus Sash, Unknown, Shaman, and maybe hit a DCE, and attack with Vespiquen to knock out this Garchomp, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is a knockout on the Garchomp. So there's an Ultra Ball, discarding those 2, and let's see what he decides to get. Maybe another Shaman to draw some more cards. Okay, there's a Garchomp. Is he going to put on the bench, or does he have a Rare Candy? That's the big question. So he's going to put a Garchomp on the bench, okay. Does he have another VS Seeker for Hex Maniac? I will cry if that's the... I would just be so sad if that happens. So let's see. Does he have another VS Seeker for a Hex Maniac? If he does, like I said, I will cry. I'll be so upset. But let's see. What does he do? Alright, so there's a Super Rod. Going to shuffle in 3 cards. Either energies or Pokemon. So let's see. There's a Hawlucha. There's a Fighting Energy, and a Gabite, okay. Is that a Sycamore? There you go. High five, Sycamore. There you go. Alright, does he have a Rare Candy Garchomp? That's the big question. There's a Focus Sash. Go to that guy. Alright. We have to worry about 2 Focus Sashes. There's a Trading Smell. Go to the top 4 cards of his deck, and let's see what he decides to get. If he gets a rare candy, that definitely tells me he has a Garchomp in his hand. Alright. So let's see what our opponent decides to do. Now, if he doesn't get a rare candy Garchomp this turn, we might be okay. He needs to put an energy on this guy. If he doesn't get an energy on this guy, then we'll be okay, because that means he can't knock us out with this Turbo Assault. So there's a Xerosic coming to his hand. And does he have an energy attachment for the turn? There's a Gimbal coming down. Let's see, does he have that energy attachment or not? He could use a Never Enough to draw 2 more cards. So yeah, he does have the energy attachment. Like I said, next turn he could use Bite Out to knock us out, which is not the greatest, but it might happen. So Never Enough, gonna, discard a card, draw 2 cards. Alright, on to our turn. Show me DCE. Come on, buddy. That's a Pumpkaboo. Alright, so let's put down Unknown. Let's VS Seeker for Xerosic. Alright, so discard the Focus Sash off the active. Yep. Discard the Focus Sash. And we will Shaman, draw in 2. We need a DCE really bad right now. Come on, DCE. Alright, there we go. So put a DC on this guy. We will retreat to it, and we will be revenge for the knockout. There we go. So go down to 5 prize cards. They would do it 180 damage. Now he needs another strong energy next turn to knock us out. We can draw to a Lampet. Okay. And let's see what happens. Here comes a Garchomp. I don't know why it's the one with the Focus Sash. I definitely probably should have kept it on the bench and just attacked with the bench one, but it's whatever. But let's see what happens. Does the Gimbal come down? And does he have a strong energy? We know he has a Xerosic in the hand, but if he plays a Xerosic, like I said, he needs another energy. He needs a strong energy. And let's see, does he go for the Xerosic play, or does he play another supporter to get the strong energy to knock us out? I'll have to see what he decides to do. Either way, it's going to be interesting. If he Xerosics us, then if we top deck a DC, we'll be okay, because we have VS Seeker for Xerosic. So there's a Xerosic. Go ahead and discard the DCE. Alright. How many rare candies has he played? None? None so far. Okay, that's good for my opponent. So there's Turbo Assault. It's not going to knock us out. It's going to do 60. And he's probably going to attach a strong energy to one of these Gimbals, I imagine. Yep, strong energy to Gimbal. And on to our turn. Can we get a DC this turn? And okay, VS Seeker. Alright. So, let's see. We get Unknown, Farewell Letter. Let's see if we can get an Ultra Ball. A Muscle Band. That's not what we needed. Okay. Alright, so, because I don't want to VS Seeker discard 2 Focus Sashes. Or discard 2 VS Seeker. So we're going to VS Seeker. And let's just grab a Xerosic. We're just going to discard the Focus Sash off the active, which might seem kind of weird, but I think it'll be okay. Discard the Focus Sash. We will retreat to the Vespiquen, and we will just pass. This makes it where he needs another, he still needs a strong energy to knock us out, and if he whips the Focus Sash, and he knocks us out, we can use teammates to grab a DCE and another Combi. Yep, that's what we could do next turn. So let's see what happens. Like I said, he needs a strong energy, so there's a strong energy, and we do have teammates to search for 2 cards in our deck, which might be double DCE. It might be a DCE and a Judge, so there's a VS Seeker. Does he grab a Lysander? He could grab a Lysander, bring up Shame, and take 2 price cards, going down to 4. Or if he doesn't have another supporter, that might be a bad play. So there's a Lysander. He's going to bring up the Shaman, knock it out this turn. Bite Up does 80. If there's an EX Pokemon, does 80 more damage. 160, 180. Alright, so he's going to knock us out, but we can use teammates. Grabbing a DCE. And, maybe a Battle Compressor. We'll see what happens. We'll see with top deck. Not sure what to grab, actually. I'm not going to lie to you. So on our turn, we get a Combi, so put that guy down for sure. We will teammates. Grabbing the DCE. And let's grab a Battle Compressor. With the Compressor, we can discard more cards out of our deck that we don't need. So let's use a Compressor. And with the Compressor, we will discard the Judge, Lysander, and AZ. Might be weird, but I think that'll be our best 3 cards to discard. So discard those 3. Put a DC on the active. And, let's just be revenge for the knockout. Yep, there we go. So taking a knockout. So my opponent needs a rare candy Garchomp. And if they don't, we could just take another knockout. Unless he has a VS Seeker for Xerosic. There's a time puzzle coming to our hand. There's a Hawlucha coming up. He's played 2 Focus Sashes already. In game 1, we only saw 1 Focus Sash. He's played 2 VS Seekers. Okay. 1 Garchomp. So Focus Sash, so he does have another Focus Sash. Alright. But does he have the rare candy Garchomp? There's a fighting energy going down to it. Does he have the rare candy Garchomp? That's the big question. If he has the rare candy Garchomp, then that'll make things interesting for sure. Let's see what he decides to do. So there's a Shaman going to drop to 3. Okay, so the Shamans could be our last 2 prize cards, maybe. Yeah, they could be. We typed like a Puzzle of Time. Will be like really good. Okay, so Trainer's Milk, look at the top 4 cards of his deck. Does he get the rare candy? I imagine that's what he's looking for. Come on, no rare candy. So there's a Sycamore. That's probably not what he needs. Oh, maybe he doesn't have a supporter card. So maybe that's what he needs. So he plays 4 Focus Ashes. Alright, so he must have 2 prize game 1. There's a Karina. This will definitely grab a rare candy and a Garchomp. And if we top deck a DCE, we could knock out a Shaman. Oh, so Gabite? So he must already have a rare candy in his hand. I can't imagine. Unless he has multiple Garchomps prized. So rare candy. Okay, so he's going to rare candy Garchomp. And it's going to come down to what do we top deck? Huh. Let's see what happens. So rare candy and a Garchomp. If we top deck a Puzzle Time, will be really good. Gabite coming down. Alright. Going to set up this guy, and he's going to use the second attack, Bite Off for the knockouts. Unless he uses the first attack, then that'll be a mistake. If he decides to Turbo Assault. So Bite Off, yeah, he's going to knock us out, doing 100. And let's see what we draw into. We need to draw into either DCE, Puzzle Time. Yeah, either one of those. A Shaman. Okay, so Shaman could work, but I'm kind of scared because he can take 2 prize cards off it if we whiff it this turn. We get a Vespiquen. We get a Muscle Band. We get a Pumpkaboo. And let's Shaman for 2. Yep, let's Shaman for 2. Alright. Let's see, what do we get off the 2? Okay, so we get a DC and a VS Seeker. Okay, cool. So we get VS Seeker for Xerosic. Come on down, Mr. Xerosic. So that's good. We can Xerosic the active Focus Sash. We can DC this guy. Retreat and take a knockout going down to 3. There we go. Alright, so what we'll have to worry about though is another Xerosic. So we'll go down to 3, but we do have plenty of time puzzles in the deck as well. We'll go down to 3 and let's see, what is it? A DCE. There we go. That's a great top deck. Unless he presents up, okay, so Hawlucha. So he can't knock us out this turn with this Garchomp. The max this Garchomp could do is 60, 80, I think 80, right? Yeah, 80. So let's see, what will he do? Either way, what we can do next turn, is if he sits up this Garchomp, we can Sky Return with the Shaman, sit up a Pumpkaboo, and that would make it where we pop the Focus Sash. But he does play Max Potion, but I doubt he'll Max Potion heal the damage off that guy. And how many time puzzles have we played? Is it 0? Yeah, 0 time puzzles, so that's good. So Karina, probably getting a Garchomp for sure. Unless the last 3 are Garchomps. Oh, he does have... Yeah, he has 2 maybe somewhere, either the prize cards or the deck. Let's see what this Karina gets him. So there's an Ultra Ball. Oh, I don't know what the first card was. What was the first card? I missed it. No, I missed what the first card was. Okay, so there's the Garchomp coming down. Alrighty. Let's see. So there's an Ultra Ball going to discard those 2. Okay. Maybe get another Gibble. Maybe getting a Shaman. Okay, a Hawlucha. Alright. And does my opponent have an energy? That's the big question. How many have he discarded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 so far have been discarded. Hawlucha comes down. And on to our turn. Alright. So I think what we just do is just knock out the Hawlucha. And then hopefully next turn we can knock out a Shaman. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just be revenge. Knock out the Hawlucha, because he still can't knock us out this Garchomp next turn. So do 130 damage. Going down to 2. There's a Lampet. That's not a VS Seeker. All we need is a VS Seeker or another time puzzle. We can win next turn. So let's see what happens. My opponent has 3 cards in their hand. How many VS Seekers has he played? 1, 2. There's 2 so far. Okay. All right. He gets a Strong Energy, Muscle Man, Fighting Stadium, Lysander, I will cry. I don't think he has enough cards in his hand to do that, though. Because he can Lysander, Shaman, take a knockout. 6, 8, 10, 12. So there's a Sycamore. Go discard his hand, draw 7 new cards. And does he get an energy for the turn? What does he get? So there's a Strong Energy going out to the Garchomp. Is he going to send it up or not? That's the question. If he sends it up, we can use Sky Return with Shaman, send up Pumpkaboo, and we'll be okay that way. Or maybe just another Vespiquen. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff we can do next turn. So Sacred Ash, going to shuffle 5 Pokemon from his discard pile into his deck. So 2 Gubbles, a Bites, a Garchomp, and a Garchomp. Okay, so 2-1-2 being shuffled in. There's a Fighting Stadium. Alright. We have Dimension Valley. We can bump that next turn. The Fighting Stadium doesn't add anything to his Garchomp. So there's a Garchomp coming up. And we'll see a Turbo Assault doing 80 damage. And then we can put a DC on Shaman. Sky Return. Alright. And basically saving our Shaman from being knocked out, which is pretty cool. But if we top deck a Time Puzzle, Puzzle Time, or VS Seeker, we just win next turn. So let's see. Do we get that or not? Let's see what happens. Alright, so energy goes down to Hawlucha, and on to our turn. Do we get it or not in Dimension Valley? Alright, so put down a Dimension Valley. We'll put a DC on the Shaman. We could Puzzle Time to manipulate the top 3 cards of the deck, but then if we draw to Puzzle Time, then it's not that good. I'll put down a Pumpkaboo. We will retreat into the Shaman, and we'll just Sky Return. Doing 30, and we'll sit at the Pumpkaboo and let it get knocked out next turn. That's fine. But now he popped his Focus Sash, so next turn we can attack him. If he doesn't attack us, if he like Max Potions then attacks, we could just Night March for the knockout now. Well, if he Max Potions, that doesn't work. So Trader's Mail, go look at the top 4 cards of his deck. Grabbing the Max Potion so he can discard that Strong Energy. Okay. Alright, so let's see. What can we do next turn? So Fighting Stadium coming down. Okay. There's a VS Seeker. Let's see what he decides to get. Maybe a Hex Maniac. Ooh, if he grabs a Hex Maniac, it'll make things interesting for sure because we can't use Shaman automatically. But does he play that Max Potion or not is my question. He could VS Seeker for Karina to get out another Gibble. To start getting the Garchomp ready to go. But all we need to do is knock out a Shaman and we win the game. We just need to hit one of these time puzzles and we'll just be okay. That's all we need to do. Has he played his Judge yet? He hasn't played Judge either. Okay, okay. And if he used Delinquent this turn, I would be really okay with that. I'd be A-okay. Like, I'd be fine with that play. So, Sycamore, okay. I don't know if he wants to use Sycamore, because then he has 1 card left in his deck. So I have to see what he decides to do. Let's see, what does Ikea Jones do? Alright. It's a very close game. 3-2 on price card, so Muscle Man going down to Hawlucha. Alright. Does he use the Sycamore or not? I mean, that seems really weird. How many VS Seekers has he played? 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe that's why he decided to grab the Sycamore, because he needs to draw some more cards. But if he does that, don't see how he wins. Huh. Well, he's going to take a knockout this turn regardless. He's going to use Turbo Assault. It's going to knock us out. The question is, does he have another Strong Energy in the deck? 1, 2, 3. So he has 1 Strong Energy somewhere. This makes things interesting right now. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen. Okay, so Turbo Assault going to knock us out. We're going to send up a Vespiquen, and we can knock out the Garchomp, going down to 1 price card, and we should be able to win the game. Strong Energy going to Hawlucha. We'll send up Vespiquen, and let's see, what do we get off the top deck? There's a Joltik. Alright, so let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so I'm going to Puzzle Time. Do we Puzzle Time? How many VS Seekers have we played? 1, 2, 3. So there's 1 left. I think the smart play. How many DCs have we played? 1, 2, 3. So it'll be our last DCs. I think we'll just put a DC on the Pumpkaboo. Dimension Valley. Retreat and just Night March. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we don't have enough yet. Okay. So let's puzzle time, because we're going to discard the puzzle time regardless. Ugh, that's not what we need. Alright, so we won't grab anything. We'll just keep it like it is, whatever. Press done. We'll Sycamore, discard our hand, draw 7 new cards, and that way we do enough with Night March for sure. Okay, so we did that. We will retreat into the Pumpkaboo, and we'll take a knockout. There we go. So go down to 1 price card. We should have probably compressed or discard our deck a little bit more, or thin our deck out just a little bit more. But let's see, what is our 1 card? Okay, VS Seeker, there we go. Alright. So let's see, he doesn't have any more VS Seekers, so he can't use Zerosic. He can't discard the DCE, unless he plays 2 Zerosic or Enhanced Hammer. So I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling really confident. I'm glad I picked up that Shaman to discard it, because right now the top list is going to 6, 8, 10, 12. And the reason why I didn't attack with these Vespiquen, if he plays a DCE, then we'll be in trouble. So they receive Sycamore, go to discard his hand, draw 7 new cards, and he realizes, like, oh, I can't win. Let's see what we can do, basically. Unless he plays another Sacred Ash. So let's see what he decides to do here. But either way, we have a VS Seeker for a life standard. We can win the game. And there is a Night March Vespiquen taking down the Garchomp deck. And some people say, you know, how do you beat Focus Sash decks? And here you go. Like, it might seem impossible to do. So we see Flying Press doing nothing. But let's have some fun here. Let's Compressor. Let's see if our opponent will let us do it. Okay, we don't have anything else in the deck. Whatever. We'll just discard 3. And we'll Ultra Ball, discard these 2, we'll do max damage with the Pumpkaboo. Alright, press done. And we will Night March, there we go, taking the game, 2-1, game number 2. I mean, we just had the worst draw ever, but 200 damage with Night March. There we go, and there's Night March Vespiquen taking down the Garchomp. Moving on to, we're advancing to round 3 of the tournament. We haven't lost yet. Like I said earlier, the way the tournament works is once you lose 2, you're out. So we've won 2 so far, and we got to keep on going. He said good games. Hey, good games, Alex. It was a lot of fun playing against Garchomp. I really haven't seen the deck or played it, but don't worry. I think on main deck Monday we'll cover the deck, and maybe we'll have some fun with it. But we'll see what happens. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something new about Night March Vespiquen. Once again, you can see how strong the deck is. Like, it's a really, really good deck. It's probably one of the best decks for state. So make sure you consider it. Make sure you consider it. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Hopefully you like this. Alrighty. Bye. Oh, and down below, leave a link to the PTCGO tournament series if you haven't clicked it out, if you haven't seen it before. Once again, it does cost 2 packs to join the tournament, but if you win, you get multiple packs for 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So it's really cool that you get to win packs off these tournaments. But have a great day. Alrighty.